Hi, I'm Julie, and welcome back to Read Life. This week we tried something a little different. Instead of our usual Factor foods for lunch, I decided to go ahead and order some ingredients from the online grocer Hungryroot. So let's take a look at how Hungryroot works, what items I ordered, and what we thought. Let's get started. So if you're not familiar with Hungryroot, it is an online grocer, and they basically have lots of produce, lean meats, seafood, plant-based proteins, and they have two ways that you can really shop. So you can shop for individual grocery items, or you can also go ahead and order food by recipe. And so I've been kind of doing a combination of both. So let me show you a little bit how it works. So this is the Hungryroot website. And when you go in, the first thing that you'll see when you log in is the items that you have in your fridge currently. So it tells you what foods I have right now. The items that I have on the way. So this is what I've ordered for next week. And I'll go over these in a little more detail. And then this is the area where I can go and edit the different items that I'm interested in. So what they've done is they've given me, based on the size of the box that I want to order, they've given me a number of recipes that they suggest based on the ingredients that they have available. And what I can then do is go in and make any changes. So for instance, this week, they've got the classic veggie noodles with meatballs, and they've got a stir fry with Thai peanut and hot smoked roasted salmon. So if y'all know me, you know I don't like fish. So the smoked salmon is definitely going to be out. I'll be changing that for something else. And then also, they've got a flatbread, so cauliflower sandwich thins, superfood tomato sauce, and Beyond meatballs. And so you can go into these recipes and either change out the entire recipe, or you can also just change some of the items that are in the recipe. So for example, let's say I wanted to edit and it gives you the option of either browsing by recipe or by groceries, or if you want to just swap out a single item, you can come over to where it says recipes and edit an item there. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. I'm going to go ahead and change out the grass-fed meatballs, and I'm going to swap them out for the sweet Italian chicken sausage. So now I've got the veggie noodles with the superfood tomato sauce and the sweet Italian chicken sausage. So it tells you down here what your change will either add or subtract from the recipe. So it looks like it subtracted 1 coin, so that's fantastic. Update the recipe, and there we go. So it's very easy to work through the recipes and find different items that you might like. So the other way you can browse is with groceries. And so you can just go in and pick either produce, meat and seafood, plant-based proteins. Sometimes what I'll do, since I have 1 extra credit, I will look for things that are in the sweets and snacks area, because often you can find things that are worth a single point. So as you can see, I could get the roasted red pepper hummus and chips, or the garlic hummus and chips. And it tells you how much each item costs. Now, as you see here, I have some things marked as never. You can go through the different grocery items and you can mark them as whether you would like to have them often, sometimes, or never. And so what that means is when they put together your suggested items, they will never include these items in my orders unless I specifically ask to add it. And I like that because there are certain things that I just will not ever eat. Toasted coconut clusters. We're not a big coconut family, so the fact that I can mark it as never and not worry that it's going to accidentally end up in my kitchen is really helpful to me. So that's basically how it works. I really like the ease of use of ordering the things. The recipes are very easy to put together. I'll show you again the veggie noodles. If you see the instructions, it's basically the sausages are already fully cooked. So you're just going to slice them up and heat them in a skillet until they're browned, and then set them aside. And then you're going to heat these veggie noodles, the kohlrabi noodles. I really like these. I think these are better than like zoodles or other squash noodles because they don't get really soggy and wet when you cook them. So zoodles, I like zoodles, but once you start cooking them, it's very easy for them to turn into kind of a wet, soggy mess. That doesn't happen with these kohlrabi noodles. They stay sort of al dente and they don't really provide any flavor of their own. So I think they're a lot closer to a regular pasta than some of the other veggie pastas that I've tried. So you just heat those in the skillet, and then you mix in the sauce and put the sausage back in, and your meal is done. So they literally take about 10 to 15 minutes for every recipe, depending on how long you have to cook your vegetables or if you're cooking them in separate order. So, within 15 minutes, we've got a hot, fresh cooked meal. So one of the things I loved about Factor was being able to just heat and eat. This is a little step further than heat and eat, but all of the items are pre-prepped. So, for example, with the stir fry, the vegetables are already going to be sliced. So they use this Asian salad mix, which has a blend of like snow peas and some Napa cabbage and some other different vegetables, but it's all ready to go. So you just heat it up, add in the salmon, add in the peanut sauce, boom, your lunch is ready. So let's review some of the items that we had this week. So this week we had a 3-ingredient Asian chicken sauté, which included the seasoned grilled chicken breast, Asian salad mix, and sesame ginger sauce. So I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't sure I was going to. I'm not a big veggie lover, but honestly, the vegetables that they have are super fresh. The fact that they're ready to go into the skillet and you can cook them to the texture that you like really helped me with this one. I also had some bell peppers and mushrooms that I had left over, so I added those in. Very easy to just add in some new things and then tossed in the sauce and it was ready to go. Reggie and I both liked this one. It's definitely one that I'll be getting on a regular basis. It felt really healthy eating it. So a big change from my queso fundido where I was just eating a big bowl of meat and cheese. Eating the vegetables and the chicken and the ginger sauce just felt much lighter but still filling. The next item that we had was veggie noodles, and this is definitely a favorite. So it had those kohlrabi noodles that I mentioned before. It also had a 7 veggie stir fry, which had peppers, onions, and I'm not sure what else was in there. I'll show you a picture so you can see how they looked. Braised lemongrass tofu nuggets. These things are delicious. If you don't like tofu or think you don't like tofu, this may change your mind. The flavor is throughout the tofu. It's a light lemongrass flavor. You brown them up, they get a little bit crispy, really delicious. And then mixed in the Thai peanut sauce with the whole thing. And so that was another really, really good one that will be on our menu for several weeks in a row probably, because we really liked the tofu nugget and peanut sauce combination. The next one we had is one of the items that I just showed. It was the classic veggie noodles with meatballs. So again, the kohlrabi noodles with a tomato sauce that you just heat and eat. And the grass-fed meatballs are fantastic. Super high quality meatballs. They're fully cooked again. You just kind of brown them up and get them warmed up, mix them with the kohlrabi noodles and the sauce, and really, really delicious. The only reason I have not been getting them is that they are definitely a little higher calorie than some of the other items. And so I am attempting to cut a few pounds. And I'll talk about that in another video as well. Reggie and I both started WW Blue, so we'll kind of let you know how that goes. And going forward, I will add the points for these meals as well, if you're interested in that. But yeah, so that's why I switched out for the one that'll be coming next week to add the chicken sausage instead of the meatballs. And then finally, we had a cauli bun pesto Beyond Burger. So this is the outer aisle cauliflower sandwich rounds. I've never had them before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But we basically crisped those up in a skillet. They got nice and crispy, kind of like a regular sandwich thin. They had a lot of seasoning, so it didn't just taste like a round of cauliflower. I was a little worried about that. Beyond Burgers, if you've never had them, they are probably my favorite veggie burger. They are plant-based. They use pea protein primarily. So those were good. We heated those up. They kind of creep me out a little bit with the way, like, they look so much like meat. It's a little bit crazy. Like, they're juicy and kind of blood looking, so I'm not really sure. Vegans, if you eat these, let me know what you think of the sort of faux bloody meat situation. But they taste delicious, so I was very happy with the flavor on that. And then we also had it with some pesto. And I don't usually like pesto, but I was surprised. I really enjoyed their pesto sauce, and especially on this burger with the cauliflower round, I thought it blended really nicely. So all in all, I would say that I am very happy with the Hungryroot meals that we've had so far. I'm going to definitely continue ordering them. I'll show you some of the other things that we get through the next few weeks and give you a review. As I mentioned, we are doing WW Blue, so I will add in the points values if you're interested in hearing about that. And then one other thing, when I joined, I had done Hungryroot years ago, and it was much more limited back then. And so when I rejoined this time, they had an offer for the cookie dough. And so they make a chickpea-based cookie dough that is fantastic. So with every box going forward, I will get a free container of the almond butter cookie dough. So I will go ahead and cook some of those up and let you know what I thought of those as well. So have you used Hungryroot? Do you have meals that you like? Do you shop by recipe? Do you shop by just groceries? I'm definitely interested in different combinations that other people may have tried, so that we can kind of expand the different things that we're trying with this. I'm trying to eat more vegetables, eat more plant-based meals, so this is helping me a lot. If you have not tried Hungryroot before, I will leave a link below. I think you'll get $40 off, and if you join, I think I'll get $40 off too, so we can help each other with our next box. But yeah, so that's Hungryroot. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer whatever I can. And like I said, we're kind of getting back into it. It's a little bit new. If you would like to see me cooking up some of these meals, I'm happy to do that. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, so if you like this type of content, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us to reach more people, and then I can get more feedback on things people want to see. So thank you again for coming back, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.